EK real spicy with more clips. Don't forget to subscribe and bang on that like button. Now let's get into it.
Hey, but this better be good, god damn it!
So let me tell y'all how I went on a date and found out he was a Uber driver. So I met this man on Instagram, right? So I met him, we started chit-chatting in DM, typical conversation. So then I see my friend is following him. So of course I send his Instagram to my homegirl and I'm like, sis, do you know him? And she was like, I'm not quite sure. He might have been my Uber driver. And I'm like, huh? So then I'm like, you sure? Because in my head I'm like, why would you follow your Uber driver? And then she came back and was like, actually I don't know, I'm not sure. I met a lot of people this weekend, so it's a possibility he's not my Uber driver. So I'm like, okay, cool. And of course I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like, why would you be following your Uber driver? So yeah. So then we go on a date. We vibing, y'all. I mean, this is the first guy I've actually went on a date with since I moved to Atlanta. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm really vibing with him. I got a connection with him. I'm interested in going on another date.
You heard that, right? Keep that in mind as this story unfolds.
So I asked him, what do you do? He says he's a serial entrepreneur. So I'm like, okay, but what do you do? So then he tells me that he had to start a business with his friend and they track the wealth of black people. So I'm like, okay, that didn't sound like any money for real. So I'm like, okay, so what else do you do? So then he starts to tell me what he used to do, how he used to own a dispensary and used to. And I said, okay, but what do you do now? Men, stop telling us what you used to do. If you ain't got it now, we don't care. We don't care. So then he tells me that's it. So then I look at him and I say, you drive Uber? And I could tell it like really effed him up because he was not expecting it. Because of course you a serial entrepreneur, but you did not name that you drive Uber. So he was like, yeah, sometimes. Now, I know y'all gonna drag me in the comments and I don't give up. But y'all, I'm not dating no Uber driver. And let's not forget, he is 48. Think on that. Now, I'm 33. I'm not dating a 48-year-old Uber driver. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, we date up older men because they're more established, they're more settled. No, I'm not building with no man that's 48. You're basically 50. So we go to the next spot and I had already said yes before I found out I was an Uber driver. So of course, like, my whole demeanor is totally different at the second spot. And I'm not really saying anything. I'm really ready to go home. Baby, he was doing all the talking. Then he brought it up again, was like, have we met before? Like, how you know I drove Uber? And I'm just like, oh, I just know. So at that point, I'm no longer interested, but it is what it is.
By the looks of it, bro, my guy dodged one for real. He dodged one.
So another time he tries to take me out, that I think that a few days later, and I'm not the person to ghost people because I don't like when people try to ghost me. I've been ghosted twice and it's not a good feeling. So I basically tell him while we on the phone, I was like, we was vibing, we was cooling, and we had a good day. But I ain't gonna lie, when you told me you was the Uber driver, it really effed me up. It did. And I told him it effed me up, and I'm used to dating older men that got their stuff together, that's more established, somebody I can learn from. And I said that just took me off guard. And he was very cool about it. He said he understood, and he understood, and then of course he went into the whole thing trying to explain himself and all this other stuff. But in the end, he understood. Yeah. So let me tell y'all how I went on a date and found out he was a Uber.
Yeah, man. Right off the bat, you hear her say they was hitting it off at first, right? You heard that. That's what I heard too. And so you already knew where this was headed.
Wow.
Right? And what type of mindset she was working with. Now, she alluded to it being her first time meeting someone. And it's in Atlanta. and y'all hitting it off? Okay, just making sure. And she said she was ghosted a couple times before. And I bet she wonders why. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this right here is why many women block their blessings. Many of them want a man to come save them so bad that they constantly overlook qualified men.
Problem is, you used to fucking with niggas you could walk over, ain't you? You used to fucking with niggas be like, oh, she's so cute and she can make some money, and they don't want to do nothing but lay up and play with you and suck on your and tell you how cute you are and all that extra shit. But when you run into a nigga who really stand on business and tell you, nah, it ain't finna go like that. You finna do this. You finna handle shit like this. You're not finna get drunk. You're not finna get high.
Literally, I've been through that.
Like, and you run from that shit, don't you? You run away from that. I know you do, because I can already tell what type of shit you want.
Yeah. But
you scared of a with some structure and some rules. You scared of a who gonna put you in your place. If you ain't scared of it, you stick with it.
I'm not scared of that. Like,
you're not scared of it, but you don't stick with it.
I ain't gonna lie, he had to give it to her straight. But I'm gonna have to agree with him right here. I'm gonna have to agree with him because why do they choose the men that they choose? And I think that's a big reason why. Some women don't want to truly have to work on themselves. Right? A good man in her life should get rid of all those excuses. Like in the first clip, women like her say she wants a man she can learn from. And that's all good, right? Until they have to do what they learn. And so they run.
I just want to say this because this really been on my mind lately. I have nothing against the plain Jane females. You know, and what I mean by that, like the females who doesn't go out, the female who doesn't like get their makeup done, the female who doesn't really get their hair done often. The plain Jane females, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have nothing against y'all, but why is it so hard for us pretty girls to come across a decent guy? It just seems like all the guys, the good guys, always like cuff the plain Jane females. And I feel like, you know, us pretty girls, and I'm not calling the plain Jane females ugly. I'm just saying like the pretty girls that's extra, you know, we love to dress up, we love fashion, we love keeping our nails and our hair done. And we just like to look good, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, it's hard being a pretty girl because I feel like it's a curse. Because I feel like we go through so much, and I feel like we always got to prove ourselves for a nigga to realize like we are the one, like we good, we're a good girl. But I just feel like, you know, being pretty is just a fucking curse. And you know, I done dealt with, you know, guys or whatever, and I done, you know, have a conversation with guys and they'll be like, oh, I'm scared of you. Like, what you mean you scared of me? Like, I don't be getting that. Like, what you mean? Why are you scared of me? I'm not gonna harm you, little old me. Like, I'm not gonna harm you, I'm not gonna hurt you. So why would you feel like you scared of me? I don't know, is it because they know we got options and they feel like we can find somebody that's better than them or something like that? Because I don't know. I just need answers from the guys. I need anybody to comment or inbox me and let me know, why do guys always say that to pretty girls? They always say, oh, I'm scared of you. I'm scared of love. I'm scared to date you. Why is that? I just need answers. And it's because y'all go and cuff the plain Jane females. Y'all go marry them. Y'all go do anything to please them. Y'all treat them like the queen that they are. And like I said, I don't have nothing against the plain Jane females. I'm speaking for the females that keep their hair, their nails done, just keep themselves up every day, all day. So I need answers. Somebody please, yeah.
Okay. I mean, really, many guys are just trying to get you off of looks for a second, right? And get on to how you act, who you are as a person. Looks is important. Bedroom is important, but how you treat and respect men in your relationships. That's definitely a big thing. Style over substance is just not it. High maintenance is just not it. And it's not about being able to afford it. It's about money better spent.
I'm not a guy, but I will try and answer. I think the first thing that we have to realize is that the media have actually sold us a lie. As women, they've told us that you need to have this, you need to look like this, your waist is not small enough, your bum is not big enough, you haven't got the right makeup, you don't have the right skincare, your lips are not full enough, your nose is too big. And so what happens is the media, in order to sell products to us women, have lied to us and told us that if you just buy this, then you'll be beautiful. If you just add on this, then you will be beautiful. But what we have to understand is that the difference between the pretty girls or the girls that are made up and the girls that are plain Janes is that the plain Janes did not believe the lie that they need to be more than what they are. So they have focused and they've worked on things that are intangible. They've worked on kindness. They've worked on being a nice person, being giving, being sacrificial. And because they're a good person, they actually get a good guy. And I think the problem with a lot of women that feel that they look like the standard of beauty or they are pretty or they're beautiful is that it actually gets to their head. And so what happens is they don't actually think that they have to do the work of actually being a nice person. These women actually become quite entitled to a good man, entitled to certain treatment. And when they don't get it, they're like, well, why have I done all of this? But she hasn't done anything, but she's got what I actually want. It's because she's not focusing on the things that you're focusing on. And her not getting the attention isn't affecting her self-esteem, nor is she looking at herself like, oh, how come he doesn't like me? She's actually secure in herself because she hasn't based her whole self-worth based on what she looks like and her appearance.
Looks fade anyway. And add to this, since we own the looks, many men prefer natural looks or minimal makeup over the mask. You know what I mean? And I understand a lot of women say that they don't do that for men, but it has an impact. So you got a lot of these artistes out here, right? You know, able to sculpt up a pretty face. So you got a part in the men who want to see what's up under that. But that shit definitely ain't cheap. Makeup and all of that. So a lot of men don't want an instant liability, both in money and in time it takes you to get ready. Most dudes that are about their business, efficiency is very key. So men notice these things. So unless you're looking tip-top with makeup and made up all the time is beneficial to the household or to him, he's not going to think that's really necessary and even a liability. And a lot of women like that also have a tendency to think she's better than the men who approach her as well, right? They forget about what they look like before the makeup, right? So that breeds entitlement, like this lady was just saying. I totally agree with that. I share in that opinion. Like, confidence is dope. Love a confident woman, no doubt about it. But believing that you're better than the men, and then when you tack on some of the bad attitude that comes with it, you can see why a lot of guys are falling back. They don't want the headache. You know what I'm saying? But yes, sir, yes, sir. Let me know what y'all think. It's about that time. You know how we do. Hit me in them comments. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Bang on that like button. Bang on that like button. Bang on that like button. This is EK, Real Spicy, signing out. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. And like that, be easy. Gone.